What happens when a single set of photos can completely reshape how the internet talks about a person's entire life? Not because of who they are, but because of what people think they saw. In a world where images spread faster than context, Janine Turner suddenly finds herself pulled into a wave of attention she never asked for, where headlines grow louder than facts and curiosity turns into speculation in seconds. But here's the real question you need to sit with. How quickly does public perception shift when privacy collides with fame? Before the noise, Janine Turner was known for something very different. A respected actress, a storyteller on screen, someone whose career was built on performance, discipline, and emotional depth. Yet in the digital age, none of that guarantees control over your narrative. One moment of viral attention, one set of widely shared images, and suddenly the conversation stops being about your work and starts becoming about your image. The promise of this story is not to repeat what the internet has already exaggerated, but to pull you behind the curtain of what really happens when celebrity, media, and public curiosity collide. Because once something spreads online, it doesn't matter how incomplete it is. It starts to take on a life of its own. And you, watching from the outside, are left trying to separate truth from interpretation. As reactions began to circulate, something interesting happened. People didn't just comment on the images. They projected meaning onto them. Some saw confidence. Some saw controversy. Others saw a narrative that may not even have matched reality. And that's where the emotional conflict begins. How do you defend yourself against a story that keeps changing shape every time it's told? This is the hidden weight of fame that few people talk about. It's not just about being recognized. It's about being constantly reinterpreted. A single moment can overshadow decades of work. And the emotional toll of that distortion is heavier than most people realize. Imagine building a life on craft, only to find that the world is now focused on a fragment instead of the full picture. For Janine Turner, and for many public figures like her, the real challenge isn't the attention itself. It's the loss of control over meaning. Because once the internet decides a version of a story, you are no longer just yourself. You become a version of yourself that others repeat, reshape, and sometimes completely misunderstand. And yet, there is a deeper layer here that often gets missed. Behind every viral moment is a human being who still wakes up the next day, still deals with emotions, still navigates dignity in silence, while the world continues to talk. That contrast between public noise and private reality is where the emotional peak of this story truly lives. So, what can you take from all this? Maybe it's a reminder that visibility is not the same as truth. That what you see in headlines or viral posts is often only a fraction of a much larger, quieter reality. And more importantly, that judgment without context is one of the fastest ways we lose empathy in a digital world. In the end, this isn't just about Janine Turner. It's about how easily anyone can become a story they didn't choose. And as you reflect on that, maybe the real question isn't what was seen, but how quickly we decided what it meant.